And I wanted to speak on that. This might not even be a long live stream, you know? This might not even be a long live stream. But this has already been a crazy year. This year has been one of the I won't say one of the worst, but in recent memory, have y'all seen a culmination of just everything hitting at one time or another? You know? But let's see who's here. True, ATLN, Ednice, Book Out of Case, Brittany B, Black Rain, Gemini, Obi, Angelo, B France, Saliva, Vern, DeSean, Ty, City was good, Trevon, shout out to you with the super chat, Liam, Amaja, Lex, what's good with you? Shout out to you. D-Stroke, let's see. Now, Bummer, Omega, Dreads, what's good? Yeah, but we already we like 7 months into this year, and a lot of things are happening. And yes, it is an election year, so of course you're gonna have weird things happening. What's good, Faces by Pureness? I may have to interview her soon. I've already interviewed hairstylists.
It's been a little over 4 years. Hashtag salute, bro.
Appreciate that, B friends. It's been a minute, eh? Y'all shouted you out, True. Where you was at? Where you was at? You was the first one in chat, right? Salute to Wayne Tillman. What's good? Yeah, I thought I'd do a late night live speak to the people. Naima Buckner. What's good?
Nothing ever was or ever will be right about anything Hitler said or did. The song you and Steven are both out of pocket, period.
Yeah, well, that was a fake Hitler quote that was that he never really said. Never really said it. Yeah, Nara Rivera, she's been trending. She's gone missing. She was on a boating trip with her son, and there was this eerie picture that she posted of the both of them, man. I tell you, man, this year has been crazy. You know, it has been crazy. And that's why a lot of times, man, we have to live our lives being ourselves. We can't be out here pretending. We can't out following the crowds because we don't want to, anger anybody. We have to live our lives the way that we want to. Too many of us are trying to impress people who don't care,
Makes you wonder what 2021 is going to be like.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And which makes me concerned. But the only thing that kind of puts everything in perspective is the fact that there's a November election. So that kind of puts everything in perspective. The media is on a war path of destroying themselves. They have no credibility. There is no journalistic integrity. It's all about, we hate Trump. We want him out of the office. We want him out of office as quickly and as fast as possible. These people have no integrity. They sold out their integrity. They disrespect black men all year long until a black man's life is taken. Now, all of a sudden, they want people to support Black Lives Matter, this, that, and third. Just like with this interview with Don Lemon. Don Lemon was very condescending, dismissive of the black crime, even though he spoke out against black on black crime. But now, because these people hate Trump so much, they've thrown their journalistic integrity out the window. They forgot the things that they said publicly because they want all of you to stay asleep. And they can't have people like Terry Crews waking y'all up. They don't want guys like Terry Crews speaking for themselves, like Kanye West. They don't want Kanye West, saying don't support the DNC. They don't want that shit. They have spent too long pandering to y'all, going to your churches, taking photo ops with y'all. They've worked so long to control us. They don't want to lose their slaves. So when y'all say that we still in bondage, yeah, to the Democratic Party. We still, and of course the media is in the pocket of the DNC. And I'm not saying I agree with everything that Terry Crews has said and done. Terry Crews is just as left as most of these other celebrities. But I can appreciate the fact the dude hasn't apologized for the things that he is saying. He didn't fold as quickly as some of these other people have. So in that regard, I will give him his props on that. But some of the other things he has said, especially towards men and how he, went at men because of this Me Too situation and, just totally, trying to be a part of the girls club. But other than that, him going on CNN and totally rattling Don Lemon's cage, I mean, it's worth it. And honestly, if we don't get our shit together, man, we're going to be stuck probably worse than we are because we're no longer the biggest minority. People miss that, It's a battle for the souls of black people, You got the black people that want to keep you oppressed and keep you, I'll say oppressed. I ain't going to use that word. That word is so overused. Black people who want to keep you a part of the sheep herd. You know what I'm saying? And they want you to be like them. They want you to be followers, They don't want you to think for yourself and vote for yourself. They don't want that. They want you to vote for these people, these old, people in Senate and in Congress with their kente cloth, pretending like they care anything about us when they are totally out of touch with anybody. They want to continue to have their power and position in where they are. And they're willing to say whatever that needs to be said. The media is following suit. The media does not have the interests of black people whatsoever. They don't, unless you're pushing the narrative that they appreciate, But there's just an obsession that I hope everybody can see. There's this obsession with men in general, but I will say with melanated men, with us apologizing for being honest. There's an obsession to get us to change our minds, to get us to conform, to get us to accept their agendas, whatever they may be, to get us to deviate from our own morality in order to support other communities that have nothing to do with me or even you. You see, what happens when you start to think outside the box, people are going to start calling you crazy because they're wondering, how can you, a black man who grew up in a black community with a black single mother, want to be conservative? Why would you want to not vote for the Democrats? If you don't vote for the Democrats, you're not black. How can you go through all this programming only to go against the programming that we have been wiring into you since you were young? Through the way that you were raised by your mother, through your neighborhood, through your interactions with police, through the media, through movies, through school. We've been working so long and so hard to make you into the perfect sheep. But you go against that. You go against that. Why? What do we have to do to get you in line? To make you dislike anything that isn't liberal? We're fighting for equality for everybody. Even though I didn't grow up around everybody, I just grew up around people who look like me. I don't care who other people sleep with. So I don't care what gender they choose to date. That has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me at all as a man, as a black man.
I am glad that you always speak the truth.
Appreciate that, Illa Dre. Shout out to you, man. We have been programmed and conditioned to accept what is given, right? To embrace the fact that we can't do the thinking ourselves. Other people should do the thinking for us. You know, we shouldn't seek to want to build ourselves up financially, spiritually, mentally. You know, why is it so frowned upon for black people to be educated? Well, excuse me. Why is it so frowned upon for black men to be educated? Do you know how much we shame each other for seeking higher education? Why is that? Because they want us as melanated men to be dumb. They want us to be small-minded. They want us to spend every dime we make at our jobs or whatever we do. They want us to be dependent on other people. They want us to not seek to be intellectuals. I think all of us should seek to be intellectuals. We cannot survive without being intellectual, because that's how you understand what's going on in society. We are being played. We are being manipulated. We are being mistreated. I hope people understand this. We are in bad shape, and we are always looking to blame other people because it's easy. It's easy to blame other people. It's easy to say another group of people are to blame for why me and my community of my people are the way we are, even though foreigners are all in the communities, mistreating us, disrespecting us, putting hands on, quote unquote, our women. You know, the foreigners are doing more destruction to us than Caucasian people, if you look at it. You know how many videos I have seen of these foreigners just treating us all types of ways, but we never push to have them moved out of the communities. Why is that? But we out here trying to tell people who ain't even in the communities that they are oppressing us.
Black men are so quick to apologizing.
Appreciate that, bro. They are. Absolutely they are. And that's why we are where we are. We don't have strong male leadership. They have pretty much backed down and let the women do it. Even though the women don't want to do it. The women like being in front of a camera, but when it comes to leading, they don't want to do that. It takes too much work. It takes too much work. It takes too much it really takes too much of putting yourself out there. You know, people want to be figureheads, but they don't actually want to be on the front line, so to speak. None of these people do. Real leaders are going to be on the front line saying, you know what, this is how we're going to gain power. We're not going to gain power by being victims. We gain power by being able to come together and stand together and work together. Doesn't mean we exclude working with other groups of people. It just means that in the core of what we believe, we want to work with our own people. Doesn't mean that we can't work with other people. We can't live around other people. It just means that when it comes to getting things done, we're going to be looking at ourselves and saying, hey, what do we need? We all in the same communities. We from the same places. What do we need to move forward? I'm all for us policing ourselves. I'm all for us being able to have people from the communities be able to police the communities because they are from there. I'm honestly, I think that's how it should be. I don't think people who don't even know the area should be there because they're not going to be comfortable there. They're going to be on their guard and they're not going to ingratiate themselves in the community. You know, they're not going to know how to diffuse the situation. And you're putting people who are already scared and nervous in these situations. Who, you know, it'd be easier if people were able to just police and manage their own areas to avoid these situations. But the police departments are so arrogant that they don't want to do that. They think it's best that people who ain't from that area policing, I guess because of corruption or whatever. But when you have these incidences like the George Floyd and others, what can you say then? You know? Now, when it comes to this apologizing, I'm all against it because if you say something, you should mean it. You know, if I say something, I mean it. If you say something, you should mean it. You should never let nobody shame you into changing how you feel, you know, your belief system. Because we have to live our life. You can't live my life. I have to live my life. So why would I switch up and change? What, to make you feel comfortable? I don't want to make you feel comfortable. I don't care. I don't care that you don't like my political leanings or what I believe, you know? I don't accept your lifestyle. I'm not going to be vocal about it and disrespect you, but I just don't accept it. That doesn't mean that I should apologize for that. I want to see the greatness in the people around me. Does that mean that I hate other people? No. It just means that I want to see the greatness of the people around me. It's just plain and simple, you know? And we have a lot of weak male leadership, okay?
Some black women rather to be in front of the cameras twerking.
Appreciate that, Obi. Now, honestly, I think this is a very pivotal time, and we have two roads we could take. We can either take the road of logic, reason, the hard work, the hard way, the road less traveled, or we can take the easy road and be submissive and just do what we're told. What life is that to live? What life is that to live to be a submissive man? To basically be told what to do. To be afraid to speak your mind. Like, who wants to live like that? I wouldn't. And I wouldn't care that people wouldn't like me. So what? What are they going to do about it? You can't cancel everybody. This is why you have the Terry Crews going on CNN and, you know, going at Don Lemon, standing his ground, because him and other celebrities, they're not going to say it publicly. They're tired of being canceled. They're tired of walking on eggshells. They're tired of their old dirt coming back to haunt them. And they're going to start to stand, they're going to have to, or they're going to continue to have what happens now. They're going to have to stand their ground. And a lot of these black males are going to have to start to be men. Stop being afraid. A lot of y'all are afraid. This is why you're so heavily pro-black. I don't really care for the label of pro-black. I don't know any pro-blacks. I tell people that, and they scratch their head like, oh my God, you don't know any pro? No, I don't know any pro-black. Black people are so distant, and they're just so they dislike other black people. So you cannot tell me that there's just this movement out there in all these cities and states of black people. You got a lot of black people that are comfortable in their lives. Okay. That's why they move around majority Caucasian people. They don't want to be around other black people. They really don't. I'm sorry to tell you, dashiki wearing, I'm all about Africa people. All About Africa ain't never been there. Black love, but I got biracial children. But there is no movement. There is no movement. There may be a movement on social media, but that's where it ends. That's where it begins, and that's where it ends. And I think that the quicker people understand that, the quicker they're going to be able to live their lives in reality. Because a lot of people don't live in reality anymore. They live in virtual reality, which they live on Twitter. That's not the real world. That's a minority. That's a minority of thought. That's not the majority. That's the minority. You got a lot of mentally unstable people with internet who I think need psychological evaluations before they're able to own one of these accounts, because you have a lot of mentally unstable people who are on social media who don't need to be there. They need to be getting psychological help. Something is wrong with them. And something needs to be done before it is too late. Something needs to be done. The mental instability needs to be, it needs to be fixed. I don't, at least get help. I don't know if it can be fixed, but at least getting some help. But these black celebrities are slaves, man. They live in a fishbowl, and they are afraid to be, themselves, or to live their lives and not be political. Everything is political these days. Everything is political these days. Everything is political for no reason. I'm telling y'all, man, this whole movement of blackness, that shit is on social media. It doesn't exist outside of social media. It doesn't. It's BS. Most black people can't stand each other. They can't even say hey to each other when they walk by each other. We don't like each other. We don't love ourselves. We looking for love from Caucasian people when we don't even love ourselves. So how can we look for love from other people when we don't love ourselves? See, people are attracted to people who love themselves, not people who hate themselves. But y'all want other people to love you. Love you for what? What have you done for that love? Have you loved yourself? Do you love your community? Of course you don't. Of course you don't love your community. You don't even support black businesses. It takes tragedies like George Floyd for black people to support each other. That's sad. That's sad. But then you want to go to white people and say, well, what have you done for black people? Just like this idiot Steven Jackson talking about the NFL owners are racist because they're not speaking out more about George Floyd. They're not showing their love of black people. Nigga, what? What are you talking about? Your community don't love itself. This is why you got all these crimes going on. Look at Chicago, New York. You got the young kid, the babies is getting taken out because of these idiots. Is white supremacy doing that too? We are in bad shape, but you want to know why white people don't love you as much. Because you don't love yourself, period. That's why they're not loving you more than, listen, people aren't going to love you more than you love not going to love you more than you love yourself. Look at the crimes going on against each other. You know why? Because there are police who aren't even policing some of these areas. Look at what was going on in Atlanta because the police was boycotting. But we want to look to white people for love and for hugs. When we don't love ourselves, we are taking each other's lives. We want to be marching in the streets talking about Black Lives Matter. Do you know how sick and tired I am of BLM and Black Lives? I'm sick of that because it's bullshit. because it's bullshit. You know it and I know it. Stop bending the knee and apologizing. What are you apologizing for? We have been programmed to hate each other to a point to where there is no going back. I don't see us fixing what has happened. Not in this lifetime. I really don't. There's just too much hatred there. We hate ourselves more than the KKK hates us. So, I truly believe that. We hate ourselves more than anybody can hate us. Why you think you're seeing the crime go up through the roof? Black people taking out other black people. Don Lemon is rolling his eyes with his effeminate self. Rolling his eyes. Of course, he's in a relationship with a white man. He got him a Chad. So he ain't worried about it, right? Or Billy,
The more men apologize, the softer society becomes.
I agree, man. I agree. Why shouldn't Sean just... Well, you spelled DeSean wrong. I got it in the title. That's not how you spell DeSean. But I didn't say he shouldn't apologize. What I'm saying is don't say things that you know you're going to apologize for. That quote he put up on his social media, I think he knew in the back of his mind he may have to apologize. And not only did he apologize once, he apologized twice. Now, with Terry Crews, what Terry Crews said, I don't think he should apologize for that at all. There are a lot of things that are being said that I don't think people should apologize for, that people are apologizing for. What I'm saying is stop apologizing. Honestly, I think DeSean is going to apologize for a third time. Stop talking about them Jews. Y'all know what's going to happen when y'all talk about the Jews. Y'all thought it was sweet, huh? You thought it was sweet talking about the Jews. Y'all was riding high, going at white people, white supremacy, and then you say something about them and you see who's really... You know what? I ain't going to go there. I ain't over there because, like, this stream is, we gonna keep it the black man, but I'm just saying, y'all got to stop saying things that y'all know y'all gonna end up apologizing for, unless you truly believe it. Unless you truly believe it, your masculinity is being wiped off the face of the earth. Apologizing. Masculinity, they're trying to wipe it off the face of the earth. They want to replace it with basically, effeminate betas who basically do what they're told. They basically do what they're told. You know what I'm saying? They want the women to be in a masculine disposition. Then they want the men to be in a feminine position. They want these men out here, just as moist and feminine. Just no threat whatsoever. Don Lemon like. They want Don Lemons out here, basically. They want Don Lemons out here. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? And they want to destroy masculinity in order to control the male population, because you can't control the male population if there's still masculine men out here. That's why they want to take the guns away. They want us to be unprotected. They want us to be naive. And that's why it is good that there are men standing up for themselves and they are not apologizing. They're not bending the knee. They're saying, you know what? I'm not a liberal. I'm a conservative. And I'm not going to support the DNC. I'm not going to bow down to women. I'm going to stand up for myself. You know? I'm going to stand up for myself. And that's why I tell women, man, when y'all attack men for disagreeing with you, I don't understand it, because do you want men to be like your male besties and lie to you and tell you everything you want to hear and give you a high five and, just so agreeable? I tweeted out something. I said, women don't want agreeable men. But there are women out here who are so hurt from their past that they want all men to be weaker than them because they think it protects them. Listen, at the end of the day, a man is still a man, no matter if he, no matter if he is part of the alphabet community or not. No matter if he's extremely feminine or not, he's still a man or male. He's still a male. He's still a male, and he's still going to be stronger than you, okay? And if he wants to hurt you, he can. So trying to effeminize men and change who they are is not really going to change them as far as who they are in the core, who they are. You know? But a lot has to be done, man. We have to stand up for ourselves. It's becoming a very small minority of people, especially black people, who are willing to not be, on the, team, BLM or, team black liberal or things of that nature. We actually have a belief system. We actually believe in something. We actually like being American, because the thing is this. Okay? I don't see myself as African American. I see myself as American. I've never been to Africa. My immediate family has never been there. My father, grandfather, great-grandfather have never been there. So I won't claim a continent I've never been to. And that's what they want. They want you to claim African heritage because they want to connect you to slavery. Even though there are people who've been native of this land for hundreds of years. And let me tell you how manipulative the media is. The media told everybody that they should just stay in the house, don't go out. Don't get anybody sick. You don't get sick. But then 2 months later, when people are starting to open the country back up, you got all these protests, and the media is supporting the protests. They're promoting it, and they're saying you should be outside protesting and looting and rioting. But for anything else, no, absolutely not. That's how manipulative the media is, man. The media has been bought off for quite some time. They don't have any type of integrity. So why people still listen to them, I don't know. Right, Ahmad? I am American. I'm not no African American. I've never been to Africa. None of my immediate family's never been there. I'm native of this goddamn continent of North America. So I am not African American. I'm American. Stars and stripes for life. Okay? I'm not trying to claim a place I've never been. But other people are doing it because it fits the narrative of slavery. It just fits the narrative. It fits the narrative that we came over here in chains. We came in bondage. Like, come on, man. Don't buy into that bullshit, man. Don't buy into that, man. There were melanated people here before they discovered this place. And people have to understand their real identity. You cannot claim something that you've never been. There are people who are skin tone all over the globe. But they're not going to tell you that. They want you to believe that all of us just was in Africa and they just came over to ships and took us to this place and that place. Even though I believe those things happen, but I don't think it happened in the volume that they're making it out to be.
We are hurting, killing, and robbing each other and wonder why we want to live in mixed neighborhoods.
Appreciate that, Obi. You know? Yeah, so yeah, I don't claim that title. You know what I'm saying? I'm American. This is the country. I'd rather be in this country than any other country. And now there may be some countries that I would like to visit, maybe stay for a little while. You know, and I'm gonna do that when I go overseas. I'm gonna see some places I may like them. I may even want to stay there, but as of right now, I'm not out here trying to claim no other place but here. You know, because if you look at why people come here and don't stay where they're at, then I think we do take what we have for granted. Let me just say this too about the NBA and LeBron James. You know, they're going to be promoting messages of BLM and all this. And they're going to be but they're going to make it seem like, you know, we just having so many problems here in America. But they're not quick to talk about what's going on in Hong Kong, what's going over there in China, what China's doing to those people in Hong Kong. Because they only care about making their money. In China, they make a lot of money in China, you know? So they're willing to ignore those things and focus on what's going on here. Which you would say, well, this is our country, we have to do that. Yeah, that's true. But if you are humanitarian and you got black people who are being evicted in China because of CV and you don't say nothing, how do you expect to be taken seriously? You know? How do you expect to be taken seriously? Yeah, make sure y'all like the stream. We don't have the usual amount of people here, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? I guess I didn't use the magic word. China does a lot of dirt, and people ignore it because they make money there. That's the saddest thing of it all, is that they ignore it because they're like, well, we make money with them, man. We can't put them out there like that. It's amazing what people are willing to overlook, right? They don't overlook anything that happens here, but they're willing to overlook what happens in some of these other countries. Countries that they do business in. Everybody wants to talk about the Redskins. They want the Redskins to change their name. Okay, Daniel Snyder has a $50 million yacht. He's still going to make millions of dollars from that team. So he doesn't care whether the name is the Redskins, the whatever. He's still going to make money. So how does that change anything? How is it going to change anything?
They want soy boys. I want smoke with the ABC folks.
Read that, Joe. Well, let me tell you something right now, man. Social media is filled with soy boys, man. Take the statues down. Change the team name. It's offensive. So this team name has been out there for a long time. Now y'all find it offensive? Most Native Americans don't even care. They don't even care. Daniel Snyder is still going to make a lot of money, man. What is it going to change? Like seriously. Okay, he changed the team name. So what? Business goes on. The Houston Texans used to be called the Houston Oilers, even though, you could say, well, the team moved, so they changed the name then, so they put a new team there, but still. Daniel Snyder is a billionaire. He's going to make money regardless. You want to take statues down. You want to change names of shit. So it's all about symbolism. Black people fall victim to symbolism every single time. Most of the stuff they're trying to change ain't even offensive to black people. It ain't even offensive to black people. None of it. Complaining about the wrong things, man. Absolutely, we're complaining about the wrong things. But that's what the election of Trump did. It ruined their day. So because it ruined their day, they want to make everybody else miserable. The media has been driven insane. You have a lot of people who've been driven insane because this country wasn't going to have its first female president. And because Hillary Clinton didn't become president and never will be, now they got all this stuff going on. Right, JoJo? Yes, they did. They gave the Native Americans in Oklahoma basically half the state back. I don't know how you're going to be able to do that. Are they going to govern it, differently from America?
Gave natives half of OKC, but blacks get squat SMH.
But you know what, though? If we continue on this path we're continuing on, we're not going to get nothing. We're going to be a permanent underclass because we're hitching our wagons to the Democratic Party, to the liberals, to the white liberals who use us and milk us so they gain things for themselves. If we continue on this road, we ain't going to get no reparations ever. Yeah, they'll talk about it, but that's because they want you to vote for them. They're not actually going to do anything. If you actually think that these people are going to be sitting up there trying to put things into law for black people, I highly suggest you stop sipping on what you sipping on, okay? Or whatever it is you smoking, because you must be smoking some highly good shit. If you really think they're going to sit down and propose anything for a group of people who is as weak, okay, and powerless as we are making ourselves be, that it doesn't have to be that way, but it is. You know why? Because these celebrities sell us out. These so-called black leaders sell us out. Because they want a seat at the table. So these are troubling times, and we have to be vigilant, and we have to understand the propaganda that's being played. Symbolism is being used to draw us in. Don't let it do that. Yo, Algeria, listen, man. That's why I don't speak on these issues like that, because it's always going to be a bit of frustration because you have people who are so addicted to symbolism, they don't see that they're being played and manipulated. They're not getting anything out of these officials unless it benefits them. How does it benefit these politicians to give y'all something when they're looking at you like what they're bringing to the discussion? They're not bringing nothing except for votes. What power do they have to bring? And they're trying to turn us against Jews and really just make us into a group where we don't have nobody, that we're dependent on them, and we're falling for it. We're falling for it hook, line, and sinker, unfortunately. But this is a spiritual war that we are in. This is a battle for our souls, man. It is. We are in a fight for our souls. And we can either choose to go down the road less traveled or the road most traveled. The road of comfortability, but also comfortability. It's probably not even a word. A road of comfort, or a road of hard work. You know, we can choose either one. You know, but until we have strong leadership, we're not going to gain anything.
Everyone desires a masculine man, but folks have their ideas of what a man should be. SMH.
Thanks, Ednice. Yes, I would think most women want a masculine man, but you have people that don't want that type of man in society because it's hard to control people with masculine men or in the household, in the communities. So they want to wipe that out. You know, they want to get rid of that. They want us to be defenseless. They want the women to be the head of households. That's what they want. That's why they elevate single mothers. They talk about how great of a mother she was raising her kids by herself.
Feminism and Gov want to strip black masculinity. The women against us. Society on a one-way ticket to hell. Mugs getting evicted and broken sheep.
Yeah, and we can't let that happen. We can't. We cannot allow them to do that. That's why we have to be able to do research and really learn from history. I watch a lot of history. Okay? I understand that socialism is not good, but there's a lot of lazy people out here who don't do no research. They think socialism is good because they don't have to work. Okay, but who's going to be paying for you to stay home and not do nothing? You know? Who's going to be funding that? I'm all about capitalism. I'm all about people making a name for themselves, building themselves up. I am not for people getting an easy route to anything. I'm not. Hold on a second. Changing something real quick. Switching up real quick. Hold on. Socialism is not good, people. If you've seen what it has done to countries, you know it's not good. They're basically going to control your everyday life. Do you want that? Do you want to be told when to go to work? Do you want to be told when you can go see family members and friends? And do you want to live in a world where you can't criticize government officials? You can't, be critical of anybody in power? That's what you have to ask yourself. I want to be able to live my life freely. And say whatever you want about America, we're able to say what we want without having to worry about our thoughts being policed. People watching us, making sure that we're not saying the wrong things. That we are basically doing the government's bidding. Our lives and every day is being controlled. Do you want that? Hold on. Let me just say this.
Salute to the Jada Black community.
Appreciate that, Shaw. Let me say this in regards to the links that I put on my the posts I put on my Instagram. If I put a post up saying I'm live, right? All you have to do is go to the description box and you'll see the Jada Black live streams link. It will bring you to the channel. But you should already be subscribed anyway. I should never have to tell you that. If you subscribe to the channel instead of not subscribing, you'll know when I go live. All you have to do is go to your phone, go to YouTube, and then go to where my channel is. That's all you have to do. I shouldn't have to put no link nowhere. Don't be lazy, okay? Don't be lazy. Because I'm surely not. You know? Because I've seen people like, listen, man, I'm one of those people. I like going and researching and finding people, you know. I'm not one of those looking for a link people. You got those guys always looking for a link. Where the link at, you know. You always want to know where the link at, man.
I agree with Jackson and Minister Farrakhan, but I do agree with Jay. Read the room and environment before you tweet. Same for Terry Crews, man shrugging, dark skin tone.
Yes, and that's what DeSean should have done. But these guys, they were feeling themselves, man. They were in a state of we can do no wrong. Like everybody's on our side. We can say whatever. And I guess they thought they weren't celebrities. Because they probably, I believe they look at YouTube, they see these guys, these pro-blacks, they see a guy like Young Pharaoh, they see what he talks about, right? So they think they can do the same thing. And it's like, well, bro, you have a contract with an NFL team. You can't say that. Your owner is Jewish. Most of the NFL owners are Jewish. NBA, you know? So, you know, when you put that out there, bro, you're going to end up not only pissing them off, you're going to piss off the media as well. And that's what happens. You have to be very tactical. You have to be able to put things out there, but don't put it so blatantly in a way that is going to anger people, and it's going to anger the type of people who go after people who say certain things. You know what I'm saying? Look at this guy, Frank. You need to get your isms right. I didn't say it was communism, moron. I said socialism is bad. I didn't say socialism is communism, but they're very similar, Frank. Fucking moron. Didn't say that. Nobody wants to live in a socialist country. I don't care if you think it's different than communism, which it isn't. Okay? There's always that one person that wants to sound smart but be really dumb. I don't want to live in a socialist or communist country, period. There's nothing good about it. They always want to come in here and believe that they're smart. No, you're not smarter than me. You may think you are. I don't live in nothing that has an ism in at the end of it. If you can put an ism in it, I don't want to be anywhere a part of it. Right, DG with WG.
Let us handle the trolls if it's okay with you, Jay.
I don't mind y'all handling the trolls. But I have to address, when I see people post stupidity and they try to make it seem like I said something when I didn't, I'm going to check that because I have to. I can't allow people to lie on my name and say that I said something when I didn't. And that's what happens. You know, people get fact checked by me. They don't like it, but that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to listen. I have to check people that come in my chat room and say certain things. I have to. I can't allow that, especially when they put my name in it. I have to check that quickly. Quickly. Okay? But I know some of these people don't know any better, man. Yeah, I know of Jer.
Black people say we should respect opinion, but we don't and attack each other. They are hypocrites.
Oh yeah, man. That's going on. That's going on a lot of different places. A lot of different places. We can't respect each other's opinion. We call it. Well, I'm not calling people names, but they like to call you a name if you're not down with them completely on their ideology. That's where they missed. It's like a big miss. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times we can't get on any type of agenda because we're constantly warring back and forth. You know, you believe this, I believe that. So we can't even work together. We can't even work together.
Anybody taking the vaccine? Not me, lol.
Anybody taking the vaccine? Not me. Listen, man, don't let me get started on vaccines, man. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't think people should. It hasn't really shown to work. It hasn't really shown to work. You know, listen, I don't know what your name is, jackass, but if I'm sensitive, then you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. If I'm sensitive, then you don't need to be here. Y'all love to come in my chat and tell me I'm being sensitive when I'm just checking you for being an idiot. I'm going to check idiots. I do it all the time. I've been checking idiots in my chat room since 2017.
Funny how Janelle Monáe has nothing to say about the City Girls' new song Kitty Talk now.
Of course
that
not.
That is degrading. Right,
course
Isis
not.
or Jasmine face with rolling eyes.
I mean, of course she's not going to because, you know, she is only upset at the men. It's the men that she has the issue with, not the women. The women can be as thottish as they want to. They're going to get a pass because at the end of the day, they want to blame us because people come to see us on shows. They listen to our music the most. We're most synonymous with hip hop, and there's a lot of women there's some women like Janelle Monáe that don't like that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see. And look at what those programs have done to the black community. Look at what those socialist programs have done to black people in the black community. It has ruined it. You know, I remember when food stamps was late one year, the women were going to riot because the food stamps was like a day or two late, thanks to that so-called socialist program that is keeping it's like keeping people on painkillers when they're abusing them. That's what those programs do to these communities. Okay? Instead of getting them off them, they get addicted to them. I'm not one of those people looking for a handout. There are people who are. Those are the type of people I have no respect for. If you're looking for a handout, it's just my opinion. I haven't looked for a handout. Nobody was handing me anything. I had to go out there and work for myself and earn what I have. And I would not change it for the world. I would not change it. I wouldn't feel right living off of anybody. I just wouldn't feel right. You know? I just wouldn't feel right just living off somebody else. Because to me, that's just the wrong way to live life, especially as a man. You know? It's bad enough you got women doing it. But if you have men doing that, that's the worst thing you could possibly want. Yeah, Section 8 is definitely socialism, and you see what it has done to the black community. Who the fuck would say that that's a success? That's not a success to me. That's not a success to me. That's a failure. Okay? That's a failure. Let's see. Exactly. It's supposed to be. Let's see. Yeah, because like if you're going through any type of struggle and you want better, you don't want to live off minimum wage, like not minimum wage. You don't want to live off, a small amount each month. You know what I'm saying? Living in, a housing development full of people who you don't want to be around. Frank, no, I would not accept universal health care. No. No, I wouldn't. Because one, I don't want to be sitting up in no hospital all the time. If I'm not used to going to the hospital a lot, why would I want that? You should not want to be in the hospital a lot. Now, for the elderly, if they wanted something like that, it is what it is. But young people, no.
I'm calling out black conservatives for their all of a sudden fake concern about Chicago too. Deflect George Floyd. They never cared about Chicago before.
Well, you know what, Saliva? I got to say this, though. They have been talking about Chicago for the last couple of years. I have heard that. Even before George Floyd. They have talked about it before. Chicago, was Chirac. That was a nickname they have for a minute. So it's not a new nickname. They've had it for a while. Are they using it now? Yes. But are they lying? Like, if you look at the stats, I mean, are they lying? There's a lot going on in Chicago right now. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on everywhere. Yeah, this country is going through changes, man, from which we've never seen before. Apartment community, they kicked out all the Section 8 folks. Yeah, you know what crazy, Ed Niece? Like, they have allowed people with Section 8 to move into the suburbs. Completely ruined some suburban areas. So I could see them taking those people out, though, because they shouldn't be there. They should not be They should not be people who own their own homes in those areas having to live next to people who are living off the government, because that's going to bring in a crowd of people you don't want in your neighborhood. It's that simple. Chicago got some fine, yeah, crazy, bro. I bet they are, Jado. I bet they are, man. All right. Yeah, make sure y'all like the stream, man. This wasn't gonna be a long live show. Probably about to go ahead and wrap it up, man. That's all I want to talk about this time. There's actually another topic I was gonna speak on, but I wasn't able to really get to it. I'll probably get to it on the next show. Get back on track. I just want to speak on this. This stream might not even be up, but salute to everybody that's here. And yeah, man, make sure y'all continue to support. Shout out to the super chatters. And they rent homes in good neighborhoods. Yeah, they are. They're allowing them to do that, you know. And it's mostly single mothers. They ain't letting the men rent in certain neighborhoods. You know, I'm letting them do that. So, yeah, man, make sure y'all like the stream, man. That's why I don't like going live this late in the day. You know, but I wanted to make sure I did go live, you know. Who was that? Let me try to see China White coming in late. What's up? See you in here late. Yeah, make sure y'all, again, check out the videos I put up today on Basic Social Politics. I'm going to put the link here. Cool Jabbar, thank you. Shout out to the supporters, man. Well, capitalism is corrupt because there are people who help each other. People who help their friends. So, in a way, politicians have gotten involved in it. So there's corruption everywhere, but we can't let the small amount of people in the corruption. Again, that corruption is gonna get cleaned out eventually. It does, just like a rinse and repeat. But bringing in a whole new system now. It's just not the way of going about it because people are used to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Philadelphia, wow. Are you from Philly, Amaja? Okay, yeah, Philly is it's a tough town. And he says don't go. I'm actually a little tired, man. That's why I don't like going, because I've been up since early this morning. I've been up early since, I think, early. That's probably what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know Ed Niece likes to hear my voice. You know what I'm saying? You know, hold up. Charles Mill with the Prophet Jaye. I think one of the best markets to get into is owning property because the value is not as high as it was. I would say towards the end of last year, even towards the end of last year, a lot of property was low. There's people buying property now and stuff like that, buying homes. This is a good time to do it because people are bringing the prices lower and lower and lower, you know. So yeah, man. I think it's called crony capitalism. It's a deviation. Yeah, but again, there's gonna be corruption everywhere, you know. But there's also a lot of good that capitalism can do, you know. It gives people something to work for. You know what I'm saying? If you have nothing to work for, then what life do you have to live? You know? Well, thank you, Ed Dees. Appreciate it. So I saw your Twitter at 6:30 a.m. Yeah, I was up early, man. I was up early. And I was on Twitter. I'd actually been up about an hour or so before I got on Twitter. Maybe about 2 hours before I got on Twitter. Because again, like if there's no way of nothing for people to work for, to own property and things of that nature, it's like or own businesses, then there'll be no need for people to get married. There'll be no need for people to have families. Because again, what are you working for? Capitalism paying my Social Security and my retirement. Because, what would people work for? What would they need to be together for? If you live where, everything is basically free, Let's see. Okay, let's see. Put this in the chat. Y'all should go and check out this live stream I actually did. I think this is still up. I think that's still up. Hold on, let me see if it's still up. What? Yeah, that's still up. Y'all go and check out that stream. Yeah, check out that. I did that recently. And this the email. You already know you can hit the email. See you, David. Sliding in. Shout out to Michael. Michael Dwayne says YouTube be stealing. Yeah, they do, bruh. YouTube will take and withhold, man. They will take and they will withhold super chats, man. That's what they do. Kachana. But yeah, man, y'all go and check out the podcast, man. I'm gonna have a new one probably Sunday or probably Monday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Charlotte. Have they shut down Myrtle yet? Myrtle. Have they shut down Myrtle? What do you mean Myrtle? You about Myrtle Beach? I don't think so. I think people can still go. I don't think they really shut it down. See, our governor here ain't no sucker, But I will tell you this though. Myrtle Beach has a lot of crime during this time of the year. But nah, they ain't shut it down. The governor here, man, again, he ain't no pump. He don't bend the knee like that. Like some of these other governors. He let the people do what they want to do, which is what the government should do. Let the people decide what they want to do. If the people want to leave the house, let them leave the house. You shouldn't be telling us if we should or shouldn't. If we want to go back to work, we should decide whether we want to go back to work. I don't want the government all in business telling me what to do. And that's a good thing. They shouldn't be telling us what to do. If people want to go out and get that Rona, let them get that Rona. They only a detriment to themselves. But for the most part, the Rona's not really that destructive. If you look at the numbers, yes, people are catching it, but how many lives are being taken and how many lives are being saved? But we're not going to talk about that, All right, let's see. We just want to shut everything down just cause it feels like we should. A feeling isn't, we shouldn't base everything on feelings. Oh, she did, John. Yeah, a lot of them celebrities are hypocrites, man. That's how it be at these people just in their feelings nowadays, man. I've been consistent to not get in my feelings, even though I go off on people, but that's normal. That's healthy. It's healthy for me to go off on people every now and then because it's a goddamn live stream. But yeah, I mean, people gonna be in their feelings. That's how it is. Sadia in late was good. Yeah, they just a couple weeks ago, they were all for people being outside, being at rallies and protests. But now, because people don't care no more, or they've gotten things under control, now they want to talk about people getting Rona. Of course they gonna. If they in large gatherings, what do you think people been doing over the last month or so? They've been in large gatherings that you've been saying, was a good thing. You know. Let me tell you something, there. A lot of lives are being lost, and not lost, but being destroyed because of lack of businesses. They basically open up everything where I'm at, but in some places they haven't. You know what I'm saying? And that is political. The mayor allowed New York to be destroyed, but now doesn't want to open it back up. It's all political. These people are nuts, man. Trump has made these people nuts. One man has made so many people butthurt to the point that they're willing to see other people's lives destroyed just so they can see him lose. That's where we're at. And I tell a lot of people this: don't listen to the media. They're lying to you. And I see you. What's up? What's up, Ann? I gotta get Ann to call in one day. Y'all gotta hear. Ann's a nice voice. Ann to call in one day. Yeah, man. People all in these large groups together, and now all of a sudden, well, y'all gotta go back in the house. Okay, what happens if another rally and protest start? You gonna tell them to go back in the house now? One man has made millions of people butthurt. That's one man has made so many people hurt, man. Like they're just hurt. One man has made all these people hurt to the core, man. Like really. Just made them hurt to the core. One man. This is my first woman caller back in the day. Yeah. Ann got to call in again, man. Got to call in again, Ann. I know Ann be busy and all that. But yeah, man, y'all have allowed, not y'all, but they have allowed one man to make so many people hurt to the point to where they're willing to see other people's lives destroyed and not care at all. Just because it's all political, man. These people are insane. That's why I don't even watch the media. I don't watch TV. I don't watch them on YouTube. These people are insane. They're willing to see other people's lives destroyed because they don't want Trump to win re-election. That's sick, man. That's a sickness. It is. And they're hypocrites. Absolutely are hypocrites. But that's why it's up to y'all to really open your eyes and see what's going on. I can only suggest. I can't tell you how to think. I can't tell you what you should do, but I can always give you suggestions. That's all I can basically do. That's all I can do. Y'all have to make the best decision for yourself. But I would tell you, don't be afraid. Don't go along with the crowd because that crowd, they don't know any better. They don't know any better, you know. I don't even think lefties want. Right now, they might not because they like to be the opposition to the president. You know, because it makes their day to troll him on social media, whether I agree with him or not. It's just weird to see so many people in their feelings about this guy. That's what's funny. It's like, why have y'all allowed this man to trigger you to the point of you just get on social media every day and be on his timeline? You be waiting for him to say something. It's like, come on, man. You can't make no change like that. You can't. Oh, he did, Ann? He said it was the last. Well, he said that because, you know, Trump was about to be in there and, you know, he wanted to make it into a spectacle. But I think he also knew that they were going to try to implement certain policies that were going to ruin this nation as we know it. Absolutely, and that's why I'd say that they have lost their minds. They are not even doing anything for the people who elected them. And those people, because they're so naive, they don't understand that the people that they voted for are not doing anything. Look at what these people want. Look at the policies these people want. Like, seriously. And y'all are voting for these people? The Nancy Pelosi's and Chuck Schumer's? The AOC's? Like, really? Yo, Gerald, what's up? Yeah, Gerald. Yeah, you in here kind of late, man. Yeah, Obamacare is probably going to be here for a while. I think he wants to change it, but the people around him are telling him, I think they tried to, but you remember they voted, John McCain was a deciding vote. And after that, it was sort of like it was like a dead end, and they weren't going to get anywhere on that. So they sort of just let it go. Man. Yeah, well, that's why I tell people you have to wake yourself up. You have to want to see the truth. The truth is not going to just magically appear. You have to want to see it. You have to want to see it. You have to want to believe it. Nobody wants to believe what they see. Yes, the media is biased. Yes, there are people, politicians that want to take your rights away. They want to turn this country to a third world country. They want it to be like a post-apocalyptic type, where you have the top percent who live in walled, homes, and the rest of us are on the outside with nothing. That's what they want, man. They want us to be. I can't think of that movie. What's that movie? They want us to be. It's a Sylvester Stallone movie, and not Judge Dredd. What's the other one? Let's see. They want us to be Demolition Man, right? They want us to be, we don't touch each other. We're not having relations with each other. The people who are sort of like the free thinkers are on the bottom, in caves, basically. Not caves, but in underground. Their thought, completely wiped away, Frank, I'm not with any party. I'm a independent libertarian, bro. I'm with the birthday party. No, Demolition Man, Demolition Man. Y'all know Demolition Man, right? Well, basically that is what we are becoming. And you look at that film and you look at what they're instituting with this COVID. We can't even shake each other's hands anymore. We can't even shake each other's hands. We can't even interact with people like that. Our thoughts are policed. We get fined for thinking, Yeah, they want Taco Bell as the restaurant. Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't curse. You get fined. They got cameras everywhere watching you. And that movie came out in the early 90s. Social distance equals singularity, AI control. Basically, we're getting close to AI, being in more control with computers. Everybody's on their computers now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. Shout out to Carillion 876.
When did the narrative go from police accountability to abolish the police? Are the bad people supposed to turn themselves in?
Well, in theory, you would think that's the case, but these people don't think anything out. They're just thinking on emotion. Like, of course they need the police. Nobody calls the police like black women. Black women call the police on us for any little thing. So obviously, or we call the police for any little thing. They are the mediators. So I don't think we're going to do well without police. I just don't. I don't think we're going to do well without police. Minority Report, yeah. More like Burial King, Burger King, or McKiller, McDonald's. But yeah, man, y'all want to defund the police? Y'all really want to do that? Okay. So who y'all gonna call when you having an argument and you like, I'm gonna call the police, and you got a person say, well, call them. Let's see if they come out here. The police is the mediator. He's basically he's the disciplinarian in the situation. So I think we have to be more logical and stop being so emotional and talking about getting rid of police. And then when the police ain't there and we ain't got nobody to call, then we want to blame somebody. Blame yourself. You didn't want them there. Remember? Right, yeah. Then you crying because nobody came there to help your situation. Yeah, right, meanest nice guy. When did that? When wasn't no snitch, not snitching. You got people snitching on each other all the time when they call the police. Nah, but what I mean with calling the police is like whenever a situation, domestic situation, or people just about to get into a fight, here they go calling the police again. We should not ever have to call the police for those situations, man. But we don't like each other. We really don't. We don't like each other, the black people. I remember I saw this video a little while back of this dude who was beating up his mother. His mother is just skinny. this skinny woman and this guy who he was a big guy, and he was beating on her, man. And you can tell that there was some trauma there. That woman must have done something to him, because I think somebody in the background, one dude was like, man, that was your mama, like something like that. And I remember that, and I was like, wow. But you have to understand that just we have this built up hatred towards each other. Now the mother did look like she might have been, on that stuff. Might have. I'm not gonna say she is, but And that was a sad video to watch. Man, he beat the brakes off that woman, and she was hanging in there, but he was beating the brakes off her, man. No, nobody did nothing. No. But to snitching. Well, snitching. You get rewarded for snitching. Damn, I mean, no one cares. Like, this is a different generation. Like, these guys are very nonchalant. The only reason why snitching isn't okay now is because you still got the guys who consider themselves street, who don't want to be connected to that, But a lot of people are just very indifferent towards it. Yeah, Gerald dude beat up his mother. No. I'm telling you, man, a lot of these guys go through trauma with certain people, man, and they can get triggered, and that stuff happens, man.
How ironic, a black man in Seattle is going to jail from hitting a white girl on the freeway at 1 a.m. who is called a protester. Who you protesting at 1 a.m.?
Who's called a protester who was protesting at 1 a.m. Right, yeah, who's protesting at 1 a.m.? What are you doing on that? You know what, man? They're going to look for a reason to put that black man in jail, man. That's why black people need to get from out these so-called protests, especially if you're around a bunch of white people, okay? Nothing good happens at protests with a bunch of white people, okay? So why are you out there? Because a lot of those white people are probably, Antifa. Y'all apparently mad yesterday. People calling him out for snitching. He used the word. He thinks we forgot he was arrested with a gang of guns and did 0 jail time. Listen, hey, the thing with T.I., like T.I. is out here, right? He literally threatened another black man, but he's Mr. Pro-Black. But he's putting up a video talking about the violence he's gonna do to another black man. All because people are bringing up the fact that he may have told. He probably did tell some things. He probably didn't tell everything. He might have told some things. He might have given a name or two. Because trust me, a black man with an arsenal of guns and you not getting no jail time, what deal did you cut, bro? We all want that deal if we ain't had to tell. Yeah, man, if you are a black man and you are surrounded by white people late at night talking on a so-called protest, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there. Because no good is going to happen with you there. Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard that she did get COVID. I heard. We also got Keishas out here running wild. Yes, we do got Keishas running wild. These Keishas out here are crazy, man. They will call the police on you too. They will want to fight you too. You got the Tekashi deal. Well, Tekashi had to tell. He had to point fingers in court. They got paperwork on him. But with T.I., like, whatever, if he did say anything, they got it sealed up tight. But he got a very good deal, man. A black man, very good deal. New York be making people do time for having a gun on them. They have to do that time. But you get caught in Atlanta with all these weapons, and You talking about the lynching thing? Was that real? That would be incredibly stupid. That'd be incredibly stupid to lynch this guy. Again, you got fanatics, man. You got people that are agents. You got black agents and you got white agents of chaos, or the government, or secret groups who are out here doing things in order to incriminate the other, You can get violated for bullets alone. And he had an arsenal of weapons that he could have gave to a small militia. But the thing I didn't like about how T.I. handled it was this guy is out here threatening another black man about what he gonna do to him. And it's like, bro, this goes against everything that you speaking about. You can't just be a part-time pro-black. You out here being no, bro, you can't just go here and just say, I'm against this and the racism and all this, and then talk about what you gonna do to another black man. That makes you look like a hypocrite, and it makes you look guilty. All right, well, that's it for me, people. Appreciate y'all for being here. All right. Make sure y'all go and like the stream if you haven't. Follow me on social media. You already know how to get in touch with me as far as everything else, But shout out to y'all for being here, man. I appreciate it. It was a good live stream, I think we could do better on the next one. We can always do better on the next one. So, y'all take care. All right? And I'll see y'all later. Okay?